Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the program today, there are always interesting stories from the Nevada system of higher education. We have a couple of regents along to talk about them. It's our billion-dollar baby. Randi Thompson has the rundown.
We have two university regents today, Dr. Jill Derby and the always exuberant Howard Rosenberg.
And coming up on the Power Pundit panel today, Bruce Breslow, Bilyeu, and Vivian Freeman. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
Corporations moving to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center require reliable power, fiber optic communication, and clean water sources. And yet, there's another amenity we're very proud of here at TRI, rail service. So far, we've built over 2 miles of railroad track, and another 3.6 is under construction. When companies need to transport freight, we're going to help them move it quickly and efficiently. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
Something spectacular has taken wing not far from Reno or Lake Tahoe, and never far from your mind. An escape of fine dining and legendary golf. Introducing the resort at Red Hawk. And at the center of it all, we've feathered our nest with new villas that have elevated Red Hawk to the status of a premier resort. The resort at Red Hawk, a beautiful new arrival in northern Nevada.
As an employer, did you know you can be held liable for negligent hiring? A background screening by Employer Links can uncover criminal records, like alcohol and drug convictions. It can verify the applicant's education, driving records, and professional licenses. Employer Links can check civil records, registered sex offender records, and social security fraud. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
I tell you, John, this industry has really changed.
Tell me about it.
You seem to do pretty well last year. What's your secret?
No secrets. Although I'll tell you something. The smartest thing I did was sign up with Pro Group Management.
Really? Yeah, they do workers' comp, right?
Yeah, their services are great. And get this, they saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
That works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you. This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And we welcome to the program Howard Rosenberg and Jill Derby. They are both regents with the Nevada System of Higher Education. Welcome to the program, both of you. To quote to you from Christina Littlefield's article in the Las Vegas Sun, Clark County doctors intent on keeping the University of Pittsburgh out of their backyard are now looking at the shortcomings of the University of Nevada School of Medicine and what the university system must do if it wants to build its own academic medical center in Las Vegas. For folks who may not be aware of what's been going on, Howard, would you start and explain what the University of Pittsburgh and the university system here has been discussing?
There is a movement afoot to merge the best of both possible worlds. We are a young medical school. We're a relatively young university. University of Pittsburgh has been doing the kind of thing that we feel might be necessary in southern Nevada, and away we go, trying to work it together. This isn't the first time we've engaged in talks like this. Cleveland Clinic was involved in it for a little while. They decided that they weren't really interested in coming into Nevada. The whole idea is perfect medical system, perfect possibilities for the residents of the state so they don't have to go outside the state when there are certain illnesses, catastrophic illnesses for one, where we just can't take care of them.
And we've seen that with several governors in the state who have had serious illnesses and have chosen to go out of state to get medical care rather than here in the state. The deal that was in the works with the University of Pittsburgh was a really good deal for the University of Pittsburgh, and not necessarily a great deal for us, except for the fact that we would get the facilities. All of a sudden now, Clark County doctors have put up a lot of money. They're suggesting around $45 million to put together their own scheme with the university system. Can you explain that to us for a little while?
Well, you know, it's been a collaboration, and the city of Las Vegas has been involved in this. And, you know, the legislature appropriated money to do the planning for this, but also Larry Ruvo interested in the Alzheimer's research division of it, and also an interest in organ transplant. So there's really a number of interests that are coming together here, and the city of Las Vegas wanting to give the land. So that's been the concept that's been on the table. The university system hasn't signed anything. We're in conversations and just waiting to see how it goes so that it advances our mission. And a collaboration looks like it would be the way that it would work.
Well, I can't help but think, is this more territorial, or is it, you know, it doesn't sound like it's the best thing for medicine to not have the University of Pittsburgh involved. Is this just more of a territorial issue with some Vegas doctors?
I think that depends upon how you look at it. Okay. Yes, I'm sure it is territorial for some. But I don't think that's the bottom line. I think what they're trying to figure out is what's the best way for the state to do what it needs to do with as little outside interference as is humanly possible. One thing no one ever seems to get: Nevada is different from any place else. What works in other places doesn't necessarily work here. And we're sort of still a frontier state. You got to show me. And all the talk in the world doesn't mean anything. These guys down south, our doctors down south, they want to see something. You show the doc something, they'll talk to you. You're not showing them anything?
Well, has the University of Pittsburgh not proven itself to them, it sounds like?
I don't know. Jill, do you know?
Does it not sound like there's money to be made here? I mean, I'm not knocking that. I'm a capitalist.
Well, the University of Pittsburgh has a going thing that's doing very well. And from our view, rather than reinventing the wheel, working with somebody who's already built one of these and had it be a success can be a positive thing. But I think there are turf issues and territory issues, and there's just, we're at the beginning of this conversation, and there are going to be a lot of things to work out.
Already the specter of north-south conflicts have been raised that the medical school should be in southern Nevada, not in northern Nevada. You want to address that, Howard?
Look, the population is down south. To give our students the kind of experiences they need, it's better for them to be in the south. For the rest of it, it's better for them to be in the north, depending upon who you talk to. But to all intents and purposes, Sam, for my own personal, and I'm speaking only for myself, the med school should be in the south, the law school should be in the north, and that would be the end of that. That's not the way it's operating. So what we do is we take what we've got and we make it work the best way that we possibly can. To the advantage of the students as well as the citizens of the state.
You know, the second 2 years of medical school has been in the South. We have quite a presence down there, and it's because to do the clinical training, you really need that kind of population that they have in southern Nevada. So we've always operated with that presence down there.
The idea that you just suggested about the medical school being in the South and law school being in the North, how do
you realize, of course, that this is going to get me shot the minute I walk out this door?
Okay, so what does the rest of the board think? Apparently they don't agree.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure we don't agree. It's just that, you know, there's a lot of history in this.
Right.
And if you know, we probably got it wrong a long time ago when we set it out this way. And now we're trying to work with what we've got.
Well,
really.
God forbid if you fix it. Well, can you consolidate? I mean, can you say consolidation?
You have to look at the way that it was chartered in the first place.
Right.
When Howard Hughes first gave the donation, there were certain strings put on that donation, and they've had to be worked that way straight on through. I'm not sure it's a bad system that we've got now. Maybe what we need to do is simply reinforce what we've got, and maybe it would work better in the long run.
And we've been looking at how we could bring law school programs up north.
Right.
Given that we've placed the law school in the south, and it's really a great law school and it's working well, but being a system of higher education, we can bring our programs up north so that northern students have access to those programs. There's the conversation going on that way.
And Bill Boyd School of Law, actually went to UNR. Let's take a break. We'll be right back with our Regents after this.
Thank you.
Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
Corporations moving to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center require reliable power, fiber optic communication, and clean water sources. And yet, there's another amenity we're very proud of here at TRI, rail service. So far, we've built over 2 miles of railroad track, and another 3.6 is under construction. When companies need to transport freight, we're going to help them move it quickly and efficiently. Welcome to the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the largest industrial park in the world, building economic prosperity for Nevadans.
Something spectacular has taken wing not far from Reno or Lake Tahoe, and never far from your mind. An escape of fine dining and legendary golf. Introducing the resort at Red Hawk. And at the center of it all, we've feathered our nest with new villas that have elevated Red Hawk to the status of a premier resort. The Resort at Red Hawk, a beautiful new arrival in northern Nevada.
As an employer, did you know you can be held liable for negligent hiring? A background screening by Employer Links can uncover criminal records, like alcohol and drug convictions. It can verify the applicant's education, driving records, and professional licenses. Employer Links can check civil records, registered sex offender records, and Social Security fraud. Hiring the right person shouldn't be a gamble. Call Employer Links. Employer Links, protecting your investment.
I tell you, John, this industry has really changed.
Tell me about it.
You seem to do pretty well last year. What's your secret?
No secrets. Although I'll tell you something. The smartest thing I did was sign up with Pro Group Management.
Really? They do workers' comp, right?
Yeah, their services are great. And get this, they saved me 30%. I've heard they saved others 50%.
That works for me.
Pro Group Management. Finally, workers' comp that works for you.
And now, back to Nevada Newsmakers with Sam Shad.
And we continue our conversation with Jill Derby and Howard Rosenberg, both regents for the Nevada System of Higher Education. I want to quote to you from Tom Mitchell, the editor of the Review-Journal's recent column.
Do you have to?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Former Assemblyman Wendell Williams' lady friend Topasia Bridget Jones is the wrecking ball that keeps on swinging, taking out huge chunks of public money with every swipe and without explanation. The latest blow cost nearly $100,000 to settle unspecified harassment and discrimination claims brought by Jones against unspecified individuals at the Community College of Southern Nevada. Those of us who paid that money were kept in the dark for nearly a year until Review-Journal reporter Casey Howard this week dug it out of the bowels of the university system bureaucracy. The wherefores and whyfores are still shrouded in mystery. Has anyone been fired, suspended, demoted, had their wrist slapped, or given a stern talking to, glared at? They won't say. Personnel matter. Go away, taxpayer, you bother me. Oh, but leave your wallet.
Looking at Howard's hands going, oh.
You want to start?
You'll know, Dr. Derby.
She's like, all yours.
Let me... this is difficult. It really is. Regent Rosenberg should say, Sam, this is a personnel issue, and as a personnel issue, it cannot be discussed. I mean, it makes things very difficult for legal staff when a regent opens his or her big mouth and doesn't, really clear it. That's Regent Rosenberg. Howard Rosenberg, however, has something quite different to say. I don't know why on earth this woman is still working. There is a history, from what I am told, of all kinds of infractions, right, left, and upside down. She's been counseled by everybody in the entire world. They had to move her from one campus to another, and she's still working for us. I don't get it. If it's a fear of being sued, who cares? I think enough is very definitely enough. I have said this, but I am one member of a 13-member board, and until the board makes a decision in toto, if indeed it ever gets that far, Sam, there's very little that can be done.
I understand that, according to Casey Howard, the sources at the college have told her that Jones has already filed another complaint with the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, but they refuse to elaborate on that. Are you aware of this? And why is the board being kept? Were you kept in secret for a year?
Well, I think it has to do with it being a personnel matter. And I disagree with Regent Rosenberg in terms of fear of being sued. I mean, I feel, we have just so much money, and it needs to go to our students and our programs and so on and so forth. So when I know that if somebody has a legitimate case, I think it's important to work with that, negotiate, and see how we can limit the damages.
But did you know?
But I don't know all the facts about it.
Did you know about the settlement, though?
The $100,000 settlement? I don't think that we knew as such. I think that the Chancellor has the power to do this kind of settlement in and of himself and itself. The office has that power.
And we should always point out, as we do on this program, that Chancellor Jim Rogers is the owner of Sunbelt Broadcasting, which this program airs upon those stations.
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with these kind of settlements being made without the board knowing?
I'm not, no. I'm not.
Jill?
Well, I like to see the board brought in, but the truth is that it can be very difficult to have a negotiation in a personnel matter and bring in 13 members of the Board of Regents because it's very hard to keep things confidential, and it can be important to do that. And that's the reason that we've empowered the Chancellor to handle these things.
Well, it sounds like you're concerned about a lawsuit, and yet money's already being spent right and left between lawyers and supposedly this. So at some point you do have to say, forget the lawsuit, let's settle this thing and move on.
Enough.
Yeah. Yeah.
But don't you at least want to know about these things once the settlement has come to fruition?
Absolutely.
Again, it's a personnel issue, Sam, and, you know, let's go the other way. Let's say that we were really worried about the protection involved here. You wouldn't want it to be made public. There's real damage that can be done to human beings. For me, it's a situation where I've watched this over a period of time. I'm getting angrier and angrier because I haven't got enough room to put the kids in seats in their classes. And someone who's not doing their job, to me, that's it. After you've been counseled once, twice, 3 times, maybe even 5 times, enough is enough. It's time that you go somewhere else.
Okay, let's change topics here.
We'll go someplace else
now we'll talk about insanity.
Wait a minute, let me just fan this a little bit because I feel like I'm on fire.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about a different kind of insanity. You are announcing today, Jill Derby, that you plan to run as a Democrat in the congressional district that Jim Gibbons currently occupies a seat on. Are you aware that there are no Democrats in this district?
There are lots of Democrats in that district, Sam, and they've been looking forward to a candidate, a credible candidate who would step forward and run. But let me also say that there, to me, because I served in a nonpartisan office, I don't think in those kind of party and partisan terms. And there are lots of people in that district who are interested in the kind of issues that I'm interested in, and having an independent voice that will bring those issues forward and represent Nevada and Washington.
Okay, I'm going to give you your chance right here now. So what are those issues that you plan to run on?
Well, certainly education has been my passion for the last 17 years on the Board of Regents. And underlying that concern is really my commitment that people have opportunity in life, and education provides that. But there are other kind of opportunities that are provided through being healthy, having good economic circumstances, and a future to look forward to. And I want to bring those kind of issues forward because they all represent opportunities for the people of Nevada. So health care is a huge issue for me and for the people that I talk to. I'm going to be on a listening tour in Nevada and finding out what people's concerns are throughout that district. But I know that health care is one that absolutely nobody is satisfied around. So that's another one. Issues of national security are important, and the environment. Water certainly comes into play. There are a number of issues that all relate to the quality of life and people's opportunities that I want to help make available.
Okay, and we will invite you back without the troublemaker.
Okay.
We'll discuss these issues in more detail than here. But
okay,
congratulations on running, and I'm
and you
kidding
better
you,
be
of course.
specific. He's pretty picky.
I'm tough on that. I grade.
I'm ready
We'll be right back on Nevada Newsmakers after this.
For a videotape copy of any Nevada Newsmakers program, call 775-857-2244. The tapes are $20 each, including shipping.
For more than a decade, the Southern Nevada Water Authority has been helping the community embrace conservation as a way of life. That includes replacing more than 50 million square feet of grass with water-smart landscaping. During the worst drought on record, watering restrictions and tough landscaping codes have reduced the community's water use by billions of gallons, even as thousands of new residents were moving into Nevada. That's smart water management, and that's our promise to Nevada.
My family started this business 27 years ago.
We work hard to serve our customers and our community. But it's getting harder and harder to keep the doors open.
For example, our workers' comp is going through the roof. Isn't anyone on my side anymore?
The Retail Association of Nevada is. If you're a small business owner, we can cut your workers' comp by up to 50%, lobby for your interests, and keep you informed. Put us to work today.
Reno's best dining values are all at one casino, the Pepper Mill. You can enjoy great savings on our popular specials. Pepper Mill's coffee shop offers daily lunch specials, low-carb dining, and all your favorite comfort foods. You'll find sensational lunch specials featuring Reno's freshest seafood, sushi, pasta, and more at Oceano. And early bird specials at Reno's Premier Steakhouse and Romanza Ristorante Italiano. The best values are at the Pepper Mill. Where are you dining?
of the materials we rely on every day come from the ground, and modern mining technology brings them to us cleaner and safer than ever before. To learn more about America's natural resources, visit nma.org, the National Mining Association.
You are watching Nevada Newsmakers.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. We have today on our Power Pundit panel former Speaker of the House Bilyeu, former Democrat Assemblywoman Vivian Freeman, and former Sparks Mayor Bruce Breslow, who is with C.B. Ellis Commercial Real Estate. Welcome to you all. Bill, let's start with you. We just saw that Jill Derby has announced that she's going to run for Congress in District 2. What's your reaction to that?
Well, good for her. I always like to see people file for office. It's going to be an interesting race. The registration is overwhelmingly Republican. I'm not sure that I particularly would want to be running for a statewide office from the platform of being a regent. Given their history and given some of the decisions that Regent Derby has made. It's going to be an interesting race. It's going to be the Republican race is going to be fascinating too, because you got so many players, and I guess the conventional wisdom is that they're going to beat up on each other, and then maybe a Democrat can come in there, right, Vivian?
Right. Yes.
Well, Vivian, as a Democrat, how do you assess?
I think the chances are very good. I've known Jill for over 20 years and have the greatest respect for her, and she's thoughtful, she's well educated, she's articulate, she will represent Nevada very well. She lives in the rural, she always has. She's a native Nevadan, certainly understands the issues. I would agree on the issue of being a regent, but I don't think that will play into this particular race because she is so well known. The Derby Dam is named after her father. You know, they're old Nevada people, and I think she's in an excellent position. I intend to work for her.
Well, Bruce, what's your opinion on this?
I think it's going to be the most entertaining race of all the political races. She's a smart gal, and God knows the Democrats need one. The Republicans are going to be I'm having fun with you, Vivian.
I know.
Dawn Gibbons is probably the best campaigner. She will have hundreds of people out there campaigning. Heller will get the impartial media. They'll be supporting Dean, and Dean's a sharp guy. And then you got Sharon Angle, and she comes across, it's like your first marriage. She looks really beautiful when you start, but as you get a little further in, there's nothing there. She's against everything.
I'm not going to touch that analogy with a 10-foot pole.
But it is accurate.
Vivian, you mentioned to me that you think that Jill stands a very good chance in the general election if another woman wins that Republican primary. Could you explain that?
Yes, I think, the interplay between the male and the female, I think that Jill is in a unique position to win handily as a woman against another woman. I never had the opportunity to run against another woman, but I think that it does set up an interesting dynamic.
How is it different? Interesting dynamics.
Well, all of us are wives and mothers.
Are you going to say what you're really thinking, or are you going to be nice here?
Well, we are on television.
Come on, this is the pundit panel.
No, I just think that Jill has all of the advantages. And I know both of the women who are running very well. I served with both of them in the Nevada State Assembly. And Dawn will do very well. Bruce is right that she will. She's an what's the word I'm trying to find? She's a wonderful campaigner. I've always said one of the reasons that Jim Gibbons was in the seat he was because Dawn ran his campaigns. She's that good. And I know that she will do well. And people love Dawn. They react very positively to her.
Well, when you talk about tough campaigners, you made a remark about Sharon Ingalls. She is a very, very tough campaigner. And Bill, I wanted to ask you, Jill Derby is from Gardnerville. She's a rural Nevadan. Does this help or hurt her in this campaign?
I don't think that's going to be a significant factor, quite frankly, simply because you're from Gardnerville doesn't necessarily square with the issues in Elko County or in Nye County and some of the other rurals. The fact that she's a native Nevadan, that's absolutely zero these days in terms of demographics.
With rural voters, it is an issue.
Well, maybe. I lived out in the rurals for a lot of years.
Well, you have.
And so was elected from there. But it's not going to particularly help her in Las Vegas, I'll tell you that. The fact she's a Democrat will.
Well, the fact that she's a regent, does that mean that she will get some of this $2 million that Chancellor Rogers is putting away for campaigns? Do you think that might help her?
Don't ask me. I have no idea.
I think that's the worst thing that can happen to politics, is for Chancellor Rogers, and sorry, I know he owns this TV station, but, you know, if you're not going to run, put a couple bucks up, but don't try to buy the race for one person or another. You know, between that, MoveOn.org, and all these other people, they have other interests that are not Nevada's interests.
A puppet master?
It's just sad.
And apropos of that, one of the things that I read in the newspaper this morning was, well, that the Democratic Congressional Caucus kind of talked about maybe giving money. That's going to be a real interesting question to see how much they actually give. They will promise, speaking from experience, they will promise you anything prior to your agreeing to run. Once you agree to run, then they've got reasons why, well, we can't quite do it or quite do it in the amount, but, you know, it's...
I think Harry Reid will be a player in this race.
There's a windmill going off saying that we're out of time.
Okay, we're out of time, folks. Great job today. We'll be right back after this.
Nevada Newsmakers, brought to you in part by the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, the world's largest industrial park, the resort at Red Hawk, and the Peppermill family of casinos.
South Reno's hotspot for food, fun, and friends is the Tamarack Junction. Play over 480 of the hottest slots and video poker games. Enjoy hot times and sizzling food specials at Sully's Sports Bar, Grill, and Nightclub. Watch your favorite game on one of our jumbo high-definition plasma TVs. Enjoy great food 24 hours a day in the Dining Car Restaurant. Or sample the best hot and cold sandwiches in the Whistle Stop Deli. The Tamarack Junction is your junction for fun. South Virginia and Amati Ranch Parkway. Yeah.
Island Inkjet is now open on South Meadows Parkway. Island Inkjet will refill your inkjet cartridges in just 1 hour. We have the ink to precisely match over 240 cartridges, saving you up to 60% on the cost of buying a new cartridge. Our work is 100% guaranteed, and contrary to what you may have heard, refills do not void any printer warranties. You don't throw out your car when it runs out of gas. Don't throw out your cartridges. Refill them at Island Inkjet on South Meadows Parkway by Smith's.
Happy Hour at the Peppermill.
Thanks to an ongoing commitment by America's mining companies, more than 2 million acres already have been reclaimed. To learn more about reclamation or other aspects of mining, visit nma.org. The National Mining Association.
Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.